Chapter 11. The Dragon's Secret. In a quiet, picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and meadows, there lived a group of adventurous children. Their names were Mia, Ben, Irene, and Leo, and they were known throughout the village for their tight-knit friendship and insatiable curiosity. Together, they spent their days exploring the woods, climbing trees, and embarking on countless adventures. One sunny morning, as the children played by a sparkling stream that wound its way through the village, they noticed something unusual in the distance. A plume of smoke billowed into the sky, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. Curiosity piqued. The children followed the trail of smoke until they reached a dense thicket at the edge of the forest. As they pushed their way through the underbrush, they stumbled upon a clearing and gasped in astonishment. Before them stood a magnificent dragon, its scales shimmering like emeralds in the sunlight. The dragon's wings were as wide as a house, and its eyes, though fierce, held a glimmer of sadness. It was unlike any creature they had ever seen. But what struck the children the most was the dragon's treasure, a glittering hoard of jewels, coins, and precious artifacts that covered the clearing. The treasure sparkled and gleamed in the sunlight, casting a mesmerizing spell on all who gazed upon it. The children approached the dragon cautiously, their hearts pounding with both fear and wonder. Mia, the bravest of the group, stepped forward and said, "Hello there, mighty dragon. We mean you no harm." The dragon regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and wariness. "Who are you, and why have you come to my lair?" Ben, always quick with words, explained, "We're just a group of friends who love to explore. We've never seen a dragon before, and we couldn't resist the urge to meet you." The dragon's eyes softened slightly, but it still seemed wary. "I am Draken, and this is my home. What do you want from me?" Irene, with her gentle nature, stepped forward and said, "We don't want anything from you, Draken. We're just curious about your treasure. It's the most beautiful thing we've ever seen." Draken let out a deep, rumbling sigh. "My treasure is not what it seems. It is a burden, a curse that has brought me nothing but trouble." Leo, the most curious of them all, couldn't contain his excitement. "Tell us more, Draken. Why do you have this treasure, and why do you call it a curse?" And so, as the children sat in a circle around the dragon, Draken began to tell his tale. He explained that long ago he had come across the treasure when it was guarded by a wicked sorcerer. The sorcerer had used dark magic to bind the treasure to Draken, making him its unwilling guardian. "I never wanted this treasure," Draken confessed. "It has brought treasure hunters and adventurers to my lair for years, all seeking to steal it for themselves. They see me as a fearsome beast guarding a hoard of riches." Mia nodded in understanding. "But you're not fearsome, Draken. You're just misunderstood." The dragon's eyes filled with gratitude. "You children are the first to see me for who I truly am, not just a guardian of treasure. But I fear that more treasure hunters are on their way. They're relentless, and they'll stop at nothing to take what they believe is rightfully theirs." The children exchanged determined glances. They couldn't let the treasure hunters harm Draken or steal his treasure. Leo, always full of ideas, spoke up. "We'll help you, Draken. We'll protect your treasure and make sure those treasure hunters never set foot in your lair." Draken's eyes filled with hope. "You would do that for me?" Irene smiled warmly and replied, "Of course, Draken. Friends help friends in need." With their decision made, the children set to work. They devised clever traps and constructed hidden pathways through the forest to protect Draken's lair. They used their knowledge of the land to their advantage, creating a network of obstacles that would deter any intruders. As they worked tirelessly to safeguard the dragon's treasure, their bond with Draken grew stronger. They learned more about him, including his love for storytelling and the tales of distant lands he had traveled in his youth. Draken, in turn, enjoyed listening to the children's adventures and dreams. Days turned into weeks, and the children's protective measures held back the treasure hunters. The village was abuzz with stories of the brave children who had befriended a dragon, and the hunters soon realized that their quest was futile. One evening, as the children and Draken sat around a crackling fire, they heard a faint rustling in the bushes. The treasure hunters had returned, more determined than ever. Mia, Ben, Irene, and Leo stood with Draken, their hearts filled with determination. As the hunters burst into the clearing, their eyes widened in disbelief. The children and the dragon stood united, a formidable force that could not be overcome. The leader of the hunters, a grizzled man with greed in his eyes, demanded, "Hand over the treasure, dragon, or we'll take it by force." Draken, his eyes gleaming with newfound courage, replied, "This treasure is not mine to give. It is a curse that I wish to be rid of." Mia stepped forward and said, "And we won't let anyone harm our friend or take his burden." With that, the children and Draken launched their plan into action. Irene used her knowledge of the forest to disorient the hunters, while Ben, quick as a fox, outmaneuvered them. Leo, with his boundless energy, set off firecrackers to create a dazzling distraction. Draken, with a roar that shook the very earth, sent a powerful gust of wind that blew the treasure hunters off their feet. Startled and disoriented, they retreated, fleeing from the clearing as fast as their legs could carry them. As the dust settled and the treasure hunters disappeared into the distance, the children and Draken breathed a sigh of relief. They had protected the treasure and their friend, and the forest remained peaceful once more. Draken gazed at the children with gratitude. "You have not only saved my treasure, but also my home. I am forever in your debt." Mia smiled and replied, "No need to thank us, Draken. Friends help friends in need, and we're happy to have you as our friend." The dragon's eyes twinkled with warmth as he said, "And I am proud to have you as mine." From that day forward, the children continued to visit Draken and share their adventures. They knew that true friendship could overcome any obstacle, and that the bonds they had formed with each other and with Draken were the most precious treasures of all. And so, in the quiet, picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and meadows, the children's tale of friendship with a misunderstood dragon became a cherished legend, a reminder that true friendship could conquer fear and greed, and that kindness and bravery could protect even the most valuable of treasures. I do hope that you enjoyed that story. If you are enjoying these stories, then please consider purchasing either the soft cover or hardcover version of the book. It is a beautifully illustrated book and will undoubtedly bless your family for years to come. And please continue to watch and listen to the many new stories I will be sharing with you on this channel. And so for now, be blessed and be well.